Hello YouTubers and fellow Whovians, and welcome to another Doctor Who Big Finish CD review. And today I shall be taking a look at the Well-Mannered War, which is part of a range by Big Finish, which is known as the Novel Adaptations range, which is basically a range of audios that have been adapted by some Big Finish writers, and basically they were novels that were released during the wilderness years, that awful time when Doctor Who was a bit off the air, and I kind of know how that feels now, seeing as Doctor Who is not on air for this year. But alas, we've got this channel to keep things going with all the reviews of Doctor Who merchandise, including CDs, DVDs and action figures. So without further ado, let's take a look at this particular piece of merchandise. Now, this story was originally written by Gareth for these novels, and it has been adapted for this particular audio release by John Dorney, and John Dorney is probably one of the most prolific writers ever on Big Finish. He's done some great stories, such as Terror of the Sontarans, which he co-wrote with Dan Starkey. So the cover, it's the same sort of cover art that you'd expect now with Big Finish releases. You've got the current classic series Doctor Who logo. Again, we've got that stupid BBC logo just above it as well. Really like this rendition of the logo. And we have this little strip on the left, and it's got Tom Baker's title sequence that was used from season 12 to 17. And it just tells you who's in this story, who are the voice actors. So we have Tom Baker and Lalla Ward, and other members of the cast include Tim McInnerny, who actually did appear in Doctor Who in the episode Planet of the Ood, funnily enough. We have Hamish Clark, and we also have John Leeson returning as our favourite mutt, K9. And you just have the Big Finish logo at the very bottom left there. And the main cover, I think, is a very nice cover. Again, at the top and the bottom, we've got the usual Fala Kaka with the brand new adventures, full cast audio drama. We all know about that by now. We've got Tom Baker looking up there, and there's explosions behind him. We have Tim McInnerny in what seems to be some sort of uniform. We have one of the aliens from the story, which play a good part in this, and we have Lalla Ward as the second incarnation as Romana. And interestingly, she is wearing the Third Doctor's outfit. And I believe that it's mentioned a few times in the actual novel that was released in the 90s. But in the audio, there's not really any mention of this. We also have K9 here, and we've got this red ribbon thing. And the reason for that is because K9 becomes the president of this planet, which is very interesting. And we've got like a few hexagonal patterns in the background there as well. And it seems that, I don't know, is some sort of table here or something. We've got a crow here, which plays a key part in the story. I shall not spoil the story for you, as it has a very, let's say, interesting ending compared to many of the other audio adventures that Big Finish have made in their 15+ year history. So overall, I think it's a very nice cover, very capturing, very appealing. This is one of the reasons why I actually got this audio. And we just have a look at the side of this CD. One thing that's interesting is the fact that this is a Fourth Doctor audio. Many of his audios, his range, they have white spines, whereas this one has a black spine. Reason for this is because this is part of a different range. It's not part of the Fourth Doctor audio adventures range. It's part of the Novel Adaptations range. This is number 5 in the Novel Adaptations. This was released alongside Damaged Goods, which is a 7th Doctor story, which was originally written by Russell T Davies. That's the next CD review, by the way. The Edges of Space, the Far Distant Future, an era even the Time Lords are not supposed to visit, laid claim by disputing factions of humans and Chelonians, which is one of the aliens of the front cover. The planet Barclow has become the catalyst for an unusual war. In 200 years of hostilities, not a shot has been fired, and the opposing combatants are the best of friends. But when the Doctor, Romana and K9 arrive, they discover the peace is not going to last. Something dangerous is happening behind the scenes. An election looms, bodies are piling up, tensions are growing. Someone, somewhere is trying to make this well-mannered war a very angry war indeed. Only the time travellers can save the day, but that might be the biggest mistake. And this is based on the original 1997 missing adventure novel by Doctor Who writer Gareth Roberts, and if you actually look at the full cast list, it may give away a little spoiler there. Quite a big cast in this one, which is always a good thing for these big finished audios, and the runtime is 2 hours. It's 120 minutes approx. It's 4 25-minute episodes, so it's what you would expect, and it's very fitting for this era, seeing as Tom Baker had loads of 4-part stories in the TV series. We have the alternate cover on the left here with the diamond logo, which is always a lovely logo, one of my favourite logos. We have Disc 1 and Disc 2, so Disc 1 has parts 1 and 2, and Disc 2 has parts 3 and 4. And we have other releases from this range, and they are the other novel adaptations. So we have Love and War, The Highest Science, both of those star Sylvester McCoy. We have The Romance of Crime, which is another Tom Baker story. We have The English Way of Death. We also have The Fourth Doctor by Gareth Roberts, limited edition, and they contain these 2 stories. Damaged Goods and The Well Man of War, a limited edition box set, so you can get that, or you can just get the standard edition. As you can see before you, this is the standard edition, because I like everything to be uniform in my collection. And inside we have an advertisement for Doctor Who Damaged Goods, starring Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor, along with an advertisement for Doctor Who magazine. Righty then, I suppose it's time to crack on with reviewing this gem, and, well, I think that this is a very, very well done audio, very well adapted, and I straight away highly recommend that you pick this up. I didn't know what to expect really from this particular audio, as it's an adaptation, and I went into this adaptations, it was originally a novel, and I never really got into the novels that were released in the 1990s, because seeing as this was released in 1997, I would have been 2 years old. So, all of this was just complete nonsense to me. But now that Big Finish have started doing all of these new adaptations, I think it's an absolutely wonderful opportunity to have a look at the expanded universe of Doctor Who, having a look at all the literature that was published in a period when Doctor Who wasn't really on the telly. We have to remember that all the merchandise that was going during the 1990s, such as the video releases or all the lost novels, all of the continuing adventures of the Seventh Doctor with all those, all the novels and everything, and even the start of Big Finish itself. By the end of the 90s, it did keep Doctor Who going, even though it was off the air until it was announced in 2004 that it would finally be brought back. And now that Big Finish has become a lot bigger, they're now tackling these novels and adapting them into audios. I think it's an absolutely brilliant idea. It's absolutely marvellous that they've done this with all of these stories. The Well-Mannered War, it was an excellent choice to be adapted. I just cannot wait to see other novels being adapted, especially Fourth Doctor ones, because the Fourth Doctor to me is he's just amazing. How can you not love the Fourth Doctor? Tom Baker delivers an excellent performance as the Fourth Doctor. He's in his 80s now. He's getting on, and he's still got that distinctive voice. And to me, listening to this audio, it just takes me right back to how it would have been back in the late 1970s. It's absolutely spot on. His performance is just brilliant. Lalla Ward, she comes back as Romana. She performs the role in the first time in over 30 years, and again, she does a brilliant job. John Leeson as K9, again, he does a great job. K9 is actually got some stuff to do. I've said in the past, some Big Finish audios, seeing as the writers of these audios, they are fans of the show like ourselves. They know what to do with these characters. And I'll be honest with you here, K9 is not a favourite character of mine. In fact, I go so far to say that he's one of the characters that I kind of disliked. Please don't kill me, but I don't know what it was. I just thought that in the TV series, he was kind of just a gimmick to just get out of sticky situations. He was kind of like a replacement for the Sonic Screwdriver. Sonic Screwdriver gets you out of situations, which is why in some stories I just feel like when the Doctor uses a Sonic Screwdriver and saves the day, it's just really, really cheap. It's just a cheap way of getting out of the sticky situation that all the characters are in. And it was the same with K9, because he had the laser and everything like that, and it was just a bit lazy. But here, K9 is used here, of course, because the Well-Mannered War, I believe, is set sometime in between Sharda and the Leisure Hive. I say Sharda. Sharda isn't actually a story that exists, but we've got some footage from that story on DVD now, thanks to the Legacy box set. But I just feel that this was a very good idea to bring this out. They've given K9 some stuff to do, because towards the end of season 17 and obviously in season 18 itself, K9, the writers knew they had to do something with K9, so what they did, they ended up writing him out of the show eventually in season 18. But here, K9, even though I said that he's kind of unlikable in the TV series, I think here in this particular audio he's written very well, he's performed very well, he's just given stuff to do, and he's made likeable. It's a bit like Melanie Bush. She was just goddamn awful in the TV series. Whether it's Bonnie Langford's fault is questionable. I blame the writers myself, but in the audios, she's just great. She's just a completely different character. And while I wouldn't say that K9 is a completely different character in this, he's just more likeable, and you can just tolerate him a lot more in the Well-Mannered War than, say, some episodes from the TV series when he was first introduced from season 15 onwards in The Invisible Enemy. I think that the supporting characters, they all do a brilliant job. We've got very intriguing characters here, one of them being a character that the Doctor and Romana have met before in a previous adventure, and I believe that this story was part of the trilogy back in the day when the novels were released, and it was the final one to be released as a novel. And it ends on a cliffhanger. And I won't spoil what the ending is because I don't like to do that. I would like you to experience it for yourself, and you can just say what you want about it. But I think it's a very interesting ending, and it sort of ties up some loose ends from season 17, because for those of you unaware, you've got season 17, season 18 comes along, everything's completely different. So this, in a way, it is a kind of a good way to bridge the gap. So maybe if you're marathoning episodes in the future, maybe you give this a listen. I think it's a very good, enjoyable audio drama. All the casts are just stellar. We've got the Chelonians, who are an interesting alien race, and I just think the whole concept of this story overall, about this being a war, but nothing's actually happened. It's kind of like a war of attrition, but, you know, a war of attrition, you know there is a war, but, you know, nothing is actually done. There's no combat involved or anything like that. It's just a really good idea that was made by Gareth Roberts, and I think that John Dorney, he has picked out all the best bits from the original novel from 1997. He's just delivered yet another masterpiece, in my opinion. It's a great audio. I highly recommend that you pick this up. It's just fantastic, and you know, if you love the Fourth Doctor like I do, then it's a no-brainer. It's just amazing, and like I said towards the beginning, I really do like this cover. There's just something about this cover I really like. It just kicks ass, in my opinion. I'd probably give this a 9.5 out of 10. I say it's almost perfect. There's just one bit that slightly lets it down. I say part 2 was a bit weak in places, but apart from that, I think everything else is just solid, and I just go for it, in my opinion. I would not hesitate in picking this up. Yet again, Big Finish have given us a very good story for all of us Doctor Who fans, and they have treated us very, very well. So that's it. That's my review of The Well-Mannered War. Stay tuned for more Big Finish CD reviews by me, the Obsesstuvian 95. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please give it a like, comment, and share this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more Doctor Who content. And thank you very much for watching.